Okay, we'll start with what we always start with, needs and wants. If you've got buyers, sellers, whatever you've got. So happy to give you some time. If anybody's got something they'd like to talk about. Okay. You have to use this because they can't hear you on Zoom. Yeah. So it's not for in here, it's for the Zoom people.
It's for the Zoom people. Okay, the property I have in Santa Quin, the 21.77 acres that I have had listed forever and worked on forever, had kind of an extreme price reduction. If you have anybody wanting a retreat, a farm, a ranch, it is no longer easily developable, although it could easily be a family compound. But the new price on it is $1,799,000, which is extremely down from $3 million. So if you need information on it, but if they think they're going to be a development, there have been some big problems develop in doing that, or it would already be a development. So anyway, call me if you have somebody. Also, I have a lot of commercial needs for places that can be restaurants or drive-ins or restaurants or chiropractors, you name it. I just first all of a sudden I've got lots of people wanting something commercial. So if you have anything listed or run into anything, call me.
That's anywhere in the valley you're looking for commercial?
Anywhere in Utah County. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Tim?
This is Tim Herrera. I listed a home that's within walking distance of Mountain View High School and Orem Elementary School. It's an older home, but it's been updated. $450,000. It's a really good deal and a lot of activity since it was listed a week ago.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm going to be listing a house in Highland next week. It's really nice. Rambler has a separate apartment. Well, it has its own entrance. But it's just like a 1-bedroom with a laundry, kitchen, bathroom. My clients are moving to Texas and they're leaving on the 7th. So they want to get it sold really fast. And it's going to be a really cute house. So they're listing for $785,000.
And to be clear, the apartment is a 1-bedroom. The house isn't a 1-bedroom.
Oh, no.
Okay.
There are 3 bedrooms.
Just one bedroom. Yeah.
No, it's a really nice house. So
What's the square footage for?
I don't know. I just met with her this morning before I came here. So
good.
I'm very low on details, but
Really good. So 3-bedroom
she
house.
called me
1
last
bed
night. So yeah.
3-bed house, 1-bed apartment. Any idea what it's going to list for?
$785,000.
Okay.
Is there a tenant?
No.
Anybody else? Anybody online?
Hey, Jeff, can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead, Nicholas.
I have 2 things. I don't know if I can ask for one of them on here, but I should be getting a listing today or tomorrow in Lehigh. It is a 4,100 square foot home, 3-bedroom with an office flex space. Could be bedroom, could be a bedroom upstairs in the loft. Unfinished basement. Don't know the exact price. I'm still working on them, but we are going to be offering some sort of incentive to help with closing costs or a 2-1 buy down. Probably in the range of $750 to $760, and it is in a very nice area in Lehigh. It's actually my neighbor, so surrounded by a couple of schools, walking distance to a grade school, walking distance to Willow Creek. Just fantastic location.
Awesome. And what was your second ask?
So I am getting ready to move out of state, but continue to do real estate in Utah. And with me picking up a listing, I'm just looking for some folks that if and when I need some help, that I could maybe reach out to them and figure out a way to get some extra support while I'm managing things from a distance initially.
You've got Eric Polson and Jody.
Anyone but Eric Polson. Eric Polson. I'm just kidding. So who? So
Nicholas, I'll help.
You've got all kinds of people volunteering. So yeah. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you need any help at all,
was it?
reach out to you. Nicholas Pasowicz is who you're reaching out to. So just send him a text, let him know that you'd be happy to help. Anything else,
So
Nicholas?
who raised hand? Eric? Who else? Who else raised hand?
Yeah, Eric, Phyllis Ann Pointer, Jody Redden,
Okay.
and Ruth
Oh,
Ober.
awesome.
I'm the
Awesome. Thank you
worst
so
with last
much.
name. Ruth.
I don't.
She's awesome. You can't miss Ruth.
Okay. Thank you so much. I've seen them all at the meeting. So thank you guys. I'll be in touch.
Okay. All right. Anybody else online or here?
I have something. I have a condo that I've just listed. It's just over 1,000 square feet, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's in Southeast Provo, a complex called Canyon Meadow. And it's actually, I'm confused because it's nothing like a condo because there's no one below you. Your garage is below you and there's no neighbors above you. So I'm like, shouldn't that be called a townhouse?
Has nothing to do with the style of house. It has to do with the ownership portion.
But
So-
normally your mind does go to that when you think of condo.
yeah, we'll talk about it later as far as what's a condo, but it is a condo.
I know. It's straight across from the clubhouse, and so there is like a pool, and there is a gym, and then also part of the HOA there is basketball court, and there's a playground as well. And the ceilings are like vaulted, so it's like nice and spacious, even though it is small, and the garage is like extra deep, so it's kind of like a tandem garage, and it's listed at 349.
Awesome. And who are you? Nobody really knows who you are.
My name is
can't
Leah
tell.
Duncan.
Can't tell by your voice. So, all right.
Oh, I'm
Anybody else?
Australian.
we had no idea, Leah.
A lot of people don't. They think I'm South African. So just to clarify, I'm Australian.
I was thinking Texan, but we'll go with that.
Okay, I'm Texan.
Anyone else? Okay, we will move on then. This is May 2025 top producers. And so this is just for the month of May. This doesn't include anything other than that. And these are your top producers for May. For volume, Shelly Jameson, and volume is dollars, number of dollars that you sold, the actual price of the house all combined. So Shelly Jameson was our top producer in both volume and transactions. We've got a lot of our old crew there that have been successful for a long time and some new ones upcoming as well. And June is like a super tight race for this guy. So any one of you can easily move into the top for June. And so if you're interested in that and you need to know how, come talk to me or talk to any one of these people. I know every one of them would be glad to talk to you and help you know what they do. So reach out to them. So great producers there, some really good numbers for the year. All right, as usual, we have our in-house partners with us, Verus Title and Encompass Lending, and we're going to go with Jason first. So yeah, you get to go first. I know.
Hello. Just to reiterate, I'm here for you guys to help if I know like Nicholas and Johan, we're doing some marketing. So if you have anything you need from me, don't hesitate. I'm here for you. Hopefully I'm not on the emails from Fathom Corporate. Have they been sending out the emails for the workshops?
They have.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I have the website. They have the Fathom Business Systems website up and running. And it has the workshop schedule on the calendars where you can register. So if you would like that, just send me a message and I'll get that to you. It's nice so you can pre-plan on one of the free workshops that you want to take advantage of. They're getting a lot of Fathom district directors and other ones teaching some workshops on best practices and other things that are successful across the country. So it's a great resource for you guys to have access to. And then just like everything, we have the credit repair. I've got Rachel Harvey in Midway. I got a client of theirs that we needed to get their score from a 620 to like a 680 to help them get approved for a little bit more. Went into the program 60 days ago. And as of this morning, they're getting their rescore and hit their target. So it does work. They keep emails and me in constant so that we can get them to where your clients are approved and ready to buy. And it comes back to you. So that's it. There's a lot of other stuff, but I'm not going to bore you.
Oh, come on. Lending's so super exciting. What's happening with rates, Jason?
Yeah. So with what happened in Iran, rates kind of came down a little bit. So whereas a week ago you were looking at on a conventional 20% down about 6.875, now it's about 6.7 to 6.6, and that's without any buy downs. FHA is 6.1-ish to 6, same with VA, depending on credit scores and debt ratios and down payments, but they are slightly coming down because people are hedging, not knowing what's going on in the world and putting money into bonds. The Fed said that they're not going to cut rates, which doesn't necessarily affect mortgage rates per se. But also the rumor is the administration may start funneling more money into mortgage-backed securities, which will drive rates down. So it's still anticipated that we'd be in the mid sixes through the rest of the year. And going into fives into next year, high fives. So it's still trending towards that, but yeah, starting to see an uptick because people are starting to realize that we're not going back to the 3s and the 4s. They're finally having the come to the higher authority moment in their lives. So, so there's some people that are getting back off the sidelines that have been sitting for a year. So hopefully that's an uptick for you guys as well, because we've got a lot of listings on the market, which means a lot of buyers that we can get going. So starting to trend.
Yep.
So all out war might lower them some more.
Yeah, if we go to war, actually,
Good.
interest rates actually go down quite a bit in war. So
Yeah, a lot of times.
yeah,
we
let's
start-
hope for a world war and see if that'll.
Anything for the company.
See, Nicholas. Now I know why you don't want to work with Eric.
Now we're gonna
We-
play.
Hold your
They-
tongue, Jeff. We do not want war.
Oh wait, is that
They-
Don? All right,
Jeff, if you
Jessica.
Jeff,
Okay, go ahead.
if you
Nicholas.
think about it, we have people rooting for a economic downturn, so a recession and war, so that we can have lower interest rates. Just think about that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it later today and in the presentation, but it's true. Yeah. Okay, Jessica with Verus Title.
Hey, how's summer, you guys? Hopefully it's good. It's a little warm in here.
It's good right
I'm
here.
acclimated,
It's definitely
right?
summer
So-
up here.
Yes,
That's the whole point. It's ready
Yeah.
for summer.
yes, exactly,
It'll feel
exactly.
cool when you guys go outside.
I'm not gonna really hope for war, but I mean, I'll hope for rates to go down. I'm gonna start there. So, but I'm with Verus Title. So we were gonna have Beth today, but I'm gonna come because she's come back from a week vacation. So sometimes it can be a little rough. So, but I want to thank a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys have used me. And I really appreciate that. So if any of you guys, there's hopefully a true testament that we try to do a great job. We try to get everything done for you guys. We'll help even if there's something that you haven't gotten or you trying to get a listing. We'd be more than happy to pull information for you. Like, it's not a big deal. We can pull it. Hey, I have a listing. I might get it, might not. I want to have the info. Let us know. You can shoot us an email. You can text, call, whatever you guys want. I'm also going to tell you guys about, I'm going to hold a class. It will be here on the 9th. It's going to be how to be your own superhero and fight fraud. So we'll give some really great stories. I'm sure you guys have some, hopefully you don't have some great stories about fraud stuff, but we'll give some like indications, some things you guys can look for, things that we have run into as well that are bizarre, that we hope to teach you guys something that you don't run into that situation or, stop you in your tracks and help you out from being a victim or your clients. So other than that, yeah, we appreciate you guys. So love to see everyone out here and thanks for your business and we look forward to seeing you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jessica.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, and so you guys know they do have a new location here in Orem. Here's the address. It's on 8th North, so it's just up the road on 8th North where Sonic is, where C21 Everest used to be, in those buildings right there. So great new location. So stop in and see them if you're interested. Should be fun. All right, Into the meat of the program, dues due, guys. So you've got a couple weeks to be on time with your dues payments. Those are the dues for UCAR or Salt Lake Board or whichever board you happen to be with, which in turn pays UAR, which in turn pays NAR. So those are all of your board dues that are due right now. This is not your license renewal fee. So if you just renewed your license and you're thinking, I don't have to pay any dues, no, you have to pay your dues. So make sure and pay those. If you go past June, you get a late fee. If you go past August 31st, I get to kick you out of the brokerage. Congratulations. So if that's your goal, just let me know now. I'm happy to kick you out early, or if you just want to hang on as long as you want, that's fine too.
Disappoint you, but I did pay
Oh, Eric's going to be here forever. Reminder number 2, check your mail. So back here in the back corner, there's a black file cabinet. There's a folder for each of you. You've got mail in there. Pretty much guarantee you've got some kind of mail in there. We try to filter out most of the junk mail, but there's usually something that gets in there. And there's still a lot of Christmas cards in there and gift cards and stuff. And so make sure and check your mail. As of July 1st, we will clean all that out, shred everything, and Maya's keeping all the gift cards. So make sure and get your stuff out of there if you've got anything in there. As a reminder, Maya is awesome. She is awesome. We love Maya. She does a ton for us, but she's also an hourly employee. And I've had several agents reach out to her after hours asking for help and those kind of things. Just be very mindful that she doesn't work off the clock, or she doesn't get paid for it. There's no advantage. She will help you because she's so amazing, but just try to be respectful over time. Reach out to me. I'm not hourly. I wish I was hourly, but I'm not hourly. So I'll answer the call at 3 in the morning and help you. If you're locked out of the building or whatever, I'll drive down here and get you. Yeah. If you're drunk and in the tank, just call me. I've had to do that for Ron a couple times. So, you know. All right, upcoming classes. Jessica mentioned the one on the 9th at 11 a.m. Fighting Crime. And so that one's going to be about fraud. This coming Wednesday, a week from today, I'm teaching Don't Get Fired and listing feedback. So we've had a lot of agents who have listings and they're just not sure how to get more eyes on it or how to keep their clients updated, how to understand why they're not getting listing views or why they're not getting any offers. So I'm going to go through absorption reports, how to create a listing report each week for your clients, how to update them, all of those kind of things. So that'll be a week from today on Zoom. And then July 10th is our normal Fathom Realty orientation. So if you're newer to Fathom or you just want an orientation about all the things that we offer, that's a Zoom class that we offer on Thursdays. Usually the first Thursday. The 10th. So July 9th is live. July 9th is going to be right here 2 weeks from today. That's not. July 2nd is the one I'm teaching. That's a week from today. So that's the one I'll teach on Zoom. And July 9th is the one that Jessica from Verus Title's teaching. And then Fathom Realty Orientation is a Thursday. We teach those on Thursdays. And then July 16th is our normal Forms Plus Zoom class. July 18th, we're going to have an amazing class here. We found a trust and estate attorney who's going to come in and teach us as realtors about setting up our trusts and our estates so that we have that all figured out. And his plan is only like $900 to set all this up. I went to a couple others with Sarah Bachensky, who's offering this. And they were like $3,000 to $5,000 and up, depending on what you did. So this guy's great. He's got a great plan. So plan on coming to that. That'll be the 18th at 11 a.m. right here. And if the air conditioning's fixed, it will be amazing. July 30th is our team meeting for next month. And that one's just going to be a short condensed team meeting, but we're going to do it somewhere fun, like a bowling alley or Top Golf or somewhere like that. If you've got somewhere that you think would be fun, we'd love suggestions. So let Maya know. So it'll be a fun team meeting for us. All right, moving on to news that you can use. If you didn't see this, this is a Realtor.com report that says homeowners face a stiff penalty for staying in their homes too long. It's a hidden home equity tax. And as a reminder, the capital gains tax law, when you sell your home, allows you as a single person to take a $250,000 exception or deduction, right? And then as a married couple, you can take $500,000 as your deduction. Right now in Utah, 61% of homeowners are over the $250,000 limit. So they're going to have to pay capital gains. And 16% are over the $500,000 limit. If we go to 2030 and forecast out, that puts us at 85% of homeowners, if they stay in their homes from now through 2030, only another 5 years, 85% are going to be over that $250,000 limit, and almost half are going to be over the $500,000 limit. So this is something to be talking to your clients about. Make sure that they understand how to set that up. They may be needing to do some home equity some refi cash outs or some other things in order to avoid capital gains if possible. But they should be talking to their CPAs about what to do and how to set this up if they're planning on staying in their homes longer. Might also be a great conversation for, hey, the longer you stay here, the more you're going to have to pay. Maybe you want to move. I don't know, something like that, right? Now, just know that the reason that we're in this position is because we haven't seen, this bill was passed in 97, I believe, for this, this tax amount, and we haven't seen any change in that for inflation. There is currently a bill in the House, I think it's called the More Homes on the Market bill or something crazy like that, that increases this to 500 and $1 million. And so there's bipartisan support for that. We're hoping that that gets pushed through. But if you have an opportunity to talk to your legislators, it's a good idea to talk to them and have them support that bill so that it gets pushed through. Okay. Jason talked about this, the Fed meeting for June. The Federal Reserve said that they're going to leave interest unchanged. And so it remains unchanged. The number of cuts expected in 2025, the forecast is that they'll still do 2. I don't think they will, but that's what the Fed is saying, that they're currently forecasting 2. They changed. There used to be 4 members. There's a 12-member board in the Fed, and 4 of them up until June were saying that there were going to be no cuts in 2025. Now you've got 7 of the 12 saying that there are no cuts in 2025. The Fed also expects unemployment to go up. We're currently at about 4.1, and so they're expecting it to go up to 4.5. And they also expect inflation to continue to increase. We should be around 3.1. And inflation is probably the biggest pressuring factor as to why the Fed hasn't lowered rates. And so as we see that inflation continue to go up, that's an indication that the Fed's unlikely to actually cut rates. So just be aware that that's where we're at. We really do need to see inflation come down in order for those rates to get cut by the Fed. Just this last week, this news came out that Compass is suing Zillow. And so if you're not aware of this clear cooperation battle that's happening, there's a battle between some bigger brokerages who are saying that they're going to start their own portals where they will have private listings only, and they won't share those with the MLS or other realtors. And then you've got the other side, Zillow and others, who are saying this should be open for the public. All listings should go on the market. And so that's what Zillow is saying. I've got a clip here that introduces this and kind of talks about where it is so that you understand it a little bit better.
Compass suing Zillow. So Compass filed a federal lawsuit against Zillow, accusing the real estate portal of violating U.S. antitrust laws by banning listings that don't appear on the MLS within 24 hours of being marketed. Robert Revkin, he's the CEO. He's got an AI post. Zillow didn't build the highway, but they're charging everyone for driving on it. What he's saying is Zillow didn't build the highway being the MLS, but they're charging everybody for driving on it. Well, there are MLSs that give consumers a direct feed. It doesn't work. MLSs have tried to get it to work. MLSs are saying, hey, we have the data. We should go directly to the consumer. No consumer says, hey, hun, why don't you MLS it? Why don't you get it up on Zillow? That's what they're saying. Zillow it is become an acronym like Google it. It's part of the language and fabric of searching for a home for consumers. So yeah, Zillow didn't build the MLS. They did build the highway that consumers want to use.
So what you're seeing is that Zillow is saying to all MLS participants that if you don't have your listing on the market, on the MLS within 24 hours of it being on the market, Zillow won't allow it in their portal. They'll ban it from their portal. Encompass is suing them saying that's an antitrust practice. And so that's the current battle for this lawsuit. It will be interesting to see where this comes out. Most experts think that Zillow will come out on top on this, and so we'll continue to have this where you can post it, expect to see it on the MLS within 24 hours of a sign going up or any public marketing. To be honest, I don't know why you wouldn't want it in front of as many people as you possibly could, but okay, yeah. Okay.
It's just they're inaccuracies
Sure.
and they're setting estimates.
So this isn't about how good or bad Zillow is, right? It's more about the marketing of the properties.
Places are listing syndicated.
Over 600. So, and that includes some really, really small places.
Expect that people not, like, anyone can post on Zillow if you're just a for sale by owner?
Yes.
That hinders us, doesn't it?
To some degree. I mean, here's the issue, and it always will be with for sale by owners. They don't answer their phones. Now, realtors are about the same sometimes, right? But the reality is that if you have a for sale by owner listing and you have a regular listing, the difficulty with for sale by owners is contacting them and getting them to actually be able to show the house. And so it's not, for me, I don't care. Go ahead and list it. What that does for me is says, I can go to you in a week and say, how's it going for you? And they're like, well, I can't even answer calls or take it. I'm in the middle of work and people are calling me and I don't know what to do. And you say, well, that's why you need a realtor, right? So for me, it's not a big hindrance. I want an open market. I want everybody to see all listings no matter where they come from. I don't care if they come for sale by owner, if they come through a realtor. I think we should have an open market where people can bring their properties to market. If they want the aid of a realtor and the things that we bring, then we definitely have that ability to do so. There are some people who think they can do it without. There are some who can, but there are a lot who can't, and they get into trouble or they lose a lot of money by doing it, right? So our value, I don't think our value hinges upon whether a listing is listed publicly by us. I don't think that's our value. I think our value is all the other things that we do for our clients, right? Not that we can publicly list it on the MLS.
About what people think they're advertising on KSL is doing.
Sure. Anybody have any feedback? Has anybody listed on KSL since they moved to a paid model of $30 a month?
Did it once. It was not worth money. I didn't get anything from it.
Same?
Same thing once.
Same?
Didn't get anything.
Okay.
I only did it because my client wanted me to.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest reason to list on KSL and some other sites where you have to pay to do it is to show your client that you're trying to get it in front of as many eyeballs as you possibly can, right? For me, spending $30 a month for my listing that I'm going to get a $20,000 commission check on, I think it's part of my duty to get it on as many places and in front of as many people as I possibly can. And if that means that my spend, my ad spend, my budget is somewhere around $2,500 for a listing, I think that's pretty fair to expect from a seller's point of view.
Anybody had much success and how much does it cost to do Facebook? Does anybody have anything?
So Facebook, if you're going to do Facebook, the social boosts or the boosting of a post is almost useless. You will get a whole bunch of responses, likes, clicks, and those kind of things, but they're all garbage. They're totally garbage leads, right? So if you hire a professional to go in and do a paid ad, I've heard that the outcome is different, right? But I don't have any actual data to back that up. Anybody here?
It's been the boost a few times, and like you say, you have a new lead, you have a new Facebook lead, whatever. Or yeah, and I can never reach out there. I mean, I've not been able to reach one single person out of all this. I probably had 10 on the last one I did like a week ago. I can't reach anyone. I don't know where they can cover. Just a big waste of time.
Yeah, they have been. Now that said, I will say that cold leads are typically very much like that, right? Cold leads are very much something that you have to follow up with for a year or longer. My longest ever was 2.5 years out of never hearing from a client. Then all of a sudden he popped his head up and said, hey, I want to buy a house, right? So it does work if you continue to follow up with them. But it's a long game. It's not a right now I need a buyer for my house type of a thing, right? Okay, we'll move on. Our first sponsor, Kennedy Nelson from Acclaimed Home Warranty. Kennedy, come on up. Hopefully you brought ice cubes for everybody.
I know, right? So everybody feeling it? It's just gonna get hotter. Well, I'm Kennedy. I'm with Acclaimed Home Warranty. How many of you guys have heard of us before? Quite a few. Okay, good. Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about us. So starting off, we're a family-owned company. We're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. We're in a few other states, but I love that we're family-owned. I always like to touch on that because it gives me the room to make sure you guys are taken care of. So any issues start and stop with me. So that's really huge. So please reach out to me for anything like that. Has anybody heard of free listing coverage before? A few of you. Okay. So this is something I always like to touch on because not a lot of other home warranty companies offer this anymore, but I think it's a really great look for you guys going into these interviews with sellers. It sets you guys apart from other agents. Hey, we're going to put this listing coverage on. It's completely for free, but it's going to protect you if anything goes wrong during the listing period. So it's really, really great. The other thing is it's going to benefit them if you transfer it over to the buyer's coverage because we're going to discount our plan for them. So they're usually the ones that's going to pay for it. It's going to save them money if anything goes wrong, and it's going to save them money when purchasing the warranty for the new buyer. So it's really, really nice. And the easiest way to transfer it over to the buyer's coverage is to put it right in the MLS notes. Home warranty will be provided for through Acclaimed Home Warranty. And it's super, super simple, super fast and easy. Just text me the property address and I'll order it for you. You have a question?
And it's paid at closing.
It's paid at closing. Yep. Yep. So it's really, really, really great. It also sets the buyer up for success because we had coverage on the home before they ever even get it into the home. So it eliminates any type of pre-existing issue that they could have. So it's really, really nice. And we have a great plan.
Can you tell me how much it covers? I mean, is there a set amount it would go to?
It'll go up to $1,500.
And does it include AC?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And then I have all these flyers that talk about all of this stuff right over there when you get lunch. So you can grab one of those too. So this is something that's really great. So I would suggest utilizing that if you want to. Does anybody know how much we will discount our plan? Any guesses? So I have little prizes for you.
I know, but I won't guess.
Yeah, Jeff can't. He knows about all of our plans. Any guesses? Oh, like a number. Sorry.
Dollar amount.
Yeah, dollar amount.
Ask that question again.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. You're hungry. So we're gonna how much are we gonna discount our plan for the seller if they transfer it over to the buyer's coverage? 50 bucks.
Oh,
There you go.
that was a good-
$50. Does anybody know how much our top plan is?
900.
$650.
Oh, you guys got that at the same time. I'll give it to both of you. I've got little stuff, Karen. This is for you. And then who was that? on there?
Nicholas.
Nicholas. Hey, he knows our plan too.
Nicholas, I've got a fantastic nail file here for you.
You'll love it, Nicholas. It'll be great. Awesome. So our top plan is 650. A lot of other home warranties are going up to 700, 750, 950. So we're at a really, really great price for what we offer. We're super affordable and that's our top plan. So you're getting the best top of the line. So that's really awesome. Does anybody know we offer a coupon on our top plan? Does anybody know what that would be? For the buyer when they first get into the home? Change your locks. Yep, I'll give you a gnome.
Service call.
So we have it's a free rekey. So it's really, really nice. I'll show you guys what it is. So you can have these little coupons. You don't need to use these or give them to your buyers, but it's nice because it makes you look good. You can be like, hey, we got you this top plan. I work with Acclaimed Home Warranty. I'm giving you this coupon. It's a free rekey. We can make you feel safe in your home, rekey all your locks. So it's super awesome. So this also, you don't have to do it that way, but it can make you look good too. So we're just trying to benefit you guys. So that's something that's really awesome too. It's like a $200 value on top of our plan. So that's really, really great. And the other thing that sets us apart is our HVAC coverage. Does anybody know how much that is? Like our limit on that? Unlimited. He knew that. See, the more I come, the quicker you guys are. Yeah. You're right. Do you want a no filer? Or I have a no.
In case I'm in jail,
What do we got here? Jeff, I can't keep that straight. There you go. So yeah, HVAC coverage is unlimited, which is huge. There's no cap, no limits, unlimited parts and labor, which is awesome. Especially with the new refrigerant stuff that's going around, we do a really, really great job of making sure your homeowners are taken care of. It's kind of what we pride ourselves on. So that's something that's huge too. I also have last question. Does anybody know how long Jeff has been at Fathom Realty?
6 years.
Nope.
What? Ethan win.
Who said 4?
I said.
Yeah, 4.
Look, a lot longer.
I love it. 4 years.
It does seem
There you
like a lot
go.
longer.
Did you say it?
Yeah. And for you guys, it probably seems twice as long.
Well, I just want to say Jeff is the best. You guys have the best broker ever.
It
and he
seems
knows
like
his stuff.
forever. It seems like he's been here forever.
This coming from Dawn.
I love it. But you guys really do have the best team. And honestly, I want to be a part of your guys' team in all of your transactions. I want to make your life easy. So please utilize me. If anything comes up, I'll do anything for you guys. So just let me know. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Kennedy. All right, guys, let's go through stats. Hopefully this will give you some talking points for your clients as we go through these. First June stats, we're actually at 13,200. This was yesterday's stat, 13,500. But today we're at 13,200-ish as of this morning, active listings. Our sold count, 3,166 in the last 30 days. That's down 18% from the previous 30 days. And our under contracts, we're at 5,204. This is what May's numbers look like when I pulled them up for last team meeting. And so we had 12,000 active listings, 3,100 solds, and 5,100 under contract. So we're just continuing to see our active listings jump. In fact, here's our active listings clear back to 2018. So our active listings for this time of year, we're the highest we've been since last 7 years. And honestly, if you look back, we're the highest that we've been in the last decade, right? So we have the most listings that we've had for a very long time on the MLS right now. This is a breakdown by price point of our active listings. And so the current active listings, you can see our breakdown. The most active listings that we currently have is 4,059 in the $300,000 to $500,000 range. Excuse me. And then going up, 3,600 for the 5K. If you look all the way across the board, you'll see from a year ago all the way through every quarter, every one of these is an increase. So we just continue to increase every single month in the number of active listings that we have. In fact, here's the percentage change over the last 365 days. We're 20 to 40% increase in active listings. And this is the entire MLS all property types over the last year. If we look at single family homes only, right? So only single family homes, those numbers are relatively the same. You see that those are still concentrated with a lot in the $300,000 to $700,000 range, but we do have a lot more high-end luxury properties coming on the market as well. Part of that is just our economy, right? We've pushed our numbers so high now that $1 million listing anymore is just kind of commonplace in Utah. This is listings sold by price range. So this is our sold numbers. And if you look 24 and 25, our year-to-date change, so year-over-year change, for the most part, once you get out of the trailer homes, right? For the most part, we're pretty flat. The 2 to 300 has a little bit of a bump. And then our million plus, there's some bumps there. Our 3 million is a bump as well, but that's only a bump of about 25 homes sold. But that's still significant for 3 million and over. But we're pretty flat there for sure. And if we break it down by property type, the thing that I continue to hear is that townhouses are the ones that are being the most stagnant. But if you look at townhouse sales year over year, we're actually up 2.6%. So townhouses still continuing to sell. My feel on that is that what you see most of here is new construction townhouses selling, right? It's the older townhouses that we're having a harder time selling. So new townhouses, because builders are offering that incentive with buy down and so much concessions, we do still see a lot of newer townhouses, new construction townhouses selling. And Jack can talk about that when he comes up about townhouses and edge homes. So here's our absorption report. I'm going to talk a little bit about absorption as I talked about in my class next Wednesday, but this is our absorption. Absorption indicates how much of what is coming on the market is actually getting pulled off the market, right? So how much of it is being absorbed into sales. And so that black bar shows you how much is being pulled out. And then the green bar shows you how much monthly inventory, so how long, how many months it would take for us to sell through all the inventory that we currently have at our current absorption rate, or how much we're taking in. And so you can see back in May 2021, when it was COVID, we were sucking a lot out and we had almost no inventory month over month. And now we've gone almost, well, totally in reverse of that, right? Where we're just about to 3.5 months of inventory. And we're only at about a 25% absorption rate right now. Looking back at absorption, so this is the same thing in a line graph for you, and it goes clear back to 2017, well, 2016 if you go all the way back. This middle section is COVID, and so when COVID came about, we saw a ton of absorption, which was just taking listings out of the market faster than we were putting it in. If you can remember, we got down under 2,000 total active listings on the market back in, the 2021, 2022. And then when COVID got over, that changed. Before that is what we normally see, right? That's our normal gap that we see between our months of inventory and our absorption rate. And right now, since 2022, 2023, what we continue to see is a bigger and bigger gap. Right? We see more and more houses sitting on the market because we're having so much inventory come to the market without it selling. Interestingly, you're thinking, well, obviously, if we've got so much inventory, then sellers must be going down in price in order to get their houses sold. It's just not the case, right? Here's our average and median prices for the last 3 years. From 2023 all the way through 2025, you can see our median house prices continue to just go up. And just in 2025, from April to June, our average prices are skyrocketing. Why? I don't know. I can't figure that part of it out, right? I really have no answer for you. Now, this is going to Fathom Realty transactions. So Fathom Realty only in the last 2 years, what it is from the prior year to the current year. And I cut off the side that tells you what those two are. The top one is the buy side and the bottom one is the sell side. So we're doing more buy sides, 4.5% there, and we're doing less listing sides. But when you look at the bottom line, we're pretty much just flat, right? And I think that's what you see across most of the market is we're pretty much just flat year over year. Peter?
On that last slide, are you finding that appraisers are appraising higher too?
I'm hearing
With the increase?
I'm hearing more and more low appraisals come through. So a lot of low appraisals right now. Yeah.
So I'm new and everything, but I'm so confused on how one house, it does depend on the home, but a home goes on the market and they're kind of highly priced and then they get 3 offers within 2 days and then get over asking price. It's still.
So you get one house that goes under contract or gets multiple offers in a hurry, right? And you've got another house down the block that doesn't. Why? Because what? Because this house sucks, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to suck, right? It could be that your door's painted green and nobody likes a green front door, right? It's that little. The market is that finicky right now. They want 100% ready to move in house. It's got to be ideal for them. And if it is, we have buyers. And if it's not, it'll sit.
And the number one aspect to selling a house, and most likely to increase the timeliness of sale and the amount of sale, is staging.
Staging does help. Absolutely.
I took a listing week and a half ago at one show, and the house is perfect. And I've got it listed at the same price as when the complex sold for 2 months ago. That had a kitchen, but the rest of it was a dump. I'm just stunned. One showing.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Summer is difficult, so we're starting to move into the hotter months, right? And so this is actually a discussion I'd like to have at this point. tell me where we are. What kind of market are we in? Why is it that we're seeing those kind of offers? What challenges are buyers facing? What opportunities does it provide for you, right? Because to somebody's point, right, this is very much, you hear things like we want war so that interest rates go down so that we have a better market so that we can sell more houses. Reality is it has nothing to do with our market, right? As far as realtors, our ability to create transactions and to do business, I don't think it hinges on interest rate, right? We still have a ton of listings out there. Let's go sell them all, right? There's nothing that stops us from doing that. I'd like to hear from you. Where are we? What kind of market are we in? What challenges are you seeing? What things are you seeing that help? What are you seeing that hurts?
Jeff?
Yeah, either one of you.
I'll defer to Shelly. She's on the leaderboard. I'm gonna defer to her.
All right, Shelly.
I don't know how I'm on the leaderboard. I'm just there. So I would say it's definitely a buyer's market. Whether the numbers show it or not, it is a buyer's market. There's just too much inventory, and we still have the mentality of COVID, right? Sellers still have the COVID mentality of like, just slap a sign up. I don't have to do any repairs. And it's our job as agents to go in, like you said, if they don't like a green door and the one down the street got bidding wars, let's change the green door, right? So I think it's really, really important to go after feedback. If people come through your house and say, please give it to me straight, like give me every bad thing that we can change so we can help get this house sold. But I definitely think it's a buyer's market regardless of what the numbers say.
Great, thanks, Shelly. Nicholas?
Yeah, completely agree. I think we've been in that for the last 6 to 9 months. I think the opportunity then is to focus on buyers because you have a little bit more leverage in this market, and listings are tough right now. But I think, the focus is on buyers and getting creative in negotiations, understanding that when you look at new development, even like with Edge and everyone else, they're offering either rate buy downs or reduced rates, discounted rates, however you want to call it. But if sellers want to compete in this market, they're going to have to offer something as well as get their house ready to sell. But to me, it's just focusing. If it's a buyer's market, focus more energy on that then.
Thanks, Nicholas. Anybody else?
I've probably shown 30 homes in the past 3 weeks. And, oh no.
Yeah, you got to use the mic. I'm sure they can't hear you.
So I've shown about 30 homes in the past 3 weeks, and I agree it's a buyer's market, but I've also seen a lot of price reductions. Every day I'm getting notifications from houses that I've shown where they're reducing the prices. So I think sellers are over optimistic about what they're listing the homes for. They're back in the COVID.
Yeah. But interestingly, we're only seeing about 25 to 30% of homes have price reductions.
It's really me though, how quickly
Sure. Yeah, it doesn't take much. Yeah, to affect it dramatically. Phyllis Ann?
Question, and that's, I have a hard time when I have listings getting feedback from the agents. And I don't know how, it's like, I'll text, I'll call, I'll get down on bended knee, I'll beg, and because it's like, those are the kinds of things that help me. And the only thing that I have found is if I'm not getting feedback from the agents, then I encourage my sellers to put the house on tour, because at least I know when those 9 or 12 agents come through, I'll get feedback there. But I just don't understand. It's not that hard, and I don't know if other people have a surefire way to get feedback, because I'm not getting it.
Phyllis?
Yes.
So we talked about this a couple months ago, how there was a lawsuit in one other state that the agent gave feedback, and it was the buyers that came and sued their agent because there's a confidentiality clause, and they told them stuff that maybe they didn't want the listing agent to know. So I think a lot of people are very hesitant to give complete feedback, because what if you do want to come back and offer something and now you've offended them, or, it is rough. I will say, like, I give very vague feedback unless I know 100% my client doesn't like the house. Because if they do want to come back and maybe we want to see that house again, and I've torn that house to shreds, you know, like it's going to be really difficult to work with the agent. So I think it is really tough to give feedback, especially when you might come back and see it again, right?
Okay.
Realtor board tour is a great resource.
Realtor board tour is a good resource. I'll say to Shelley's point, to combat Shelley's point a little bit, the first point is very valid, right? Be sure that what you're sharing is something that you've talked to your buyers about and make sure that they're okay with you sharing it, right? You should have a conversation after each house or at the end of the day or whatever about each house, what it is that they actually think, not what you think, what they think, and what you're able to share. I think that's very important. But as to whether it hurts or helps when you tear a house apart, I think it comes down to the agent on the other side. As a listing agent, I want that feedback, right? And if you come to me and tell me how crappy my house is, I don't care if you make an offer later. Telling me how crappy my house is helps me have a very honest conversation with my client, right? And so I think it's, as long as you're dealing with a professional on the other side, you're okay. If you're dealing with a hothead on the other side who's just going to get upset with you, then maybe that feedback isn't as well received.
Yeah, you
right?
said it, professional. We don't work with a lot of professionals sometimes. We work with clowns. So you have to be really careful about how you word things.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk more about that today, actually, Bessie. I'm going to have to give you a mic. Hold on. No, that's okay, because the people online can't hear you. This is an online mic only.
I've got 2 listings right now with multiple open houses that I've had for the last couple months. And what I find is when I do have somebody that walks through, I ask them for feedback. And they have been pretty honest. And these are just regular people coming in without an agent. So I appreciate that, to be able to, so that's a different way of getting feedback, not the agent, but just the actual open house clients.
No, I think that's great. And I'll tell you, if you're looking for feedback, probably your best tool is text. Do not rely upon aligned showings and what you're going to get there. Your best outreach is by text. Text the agent directly, ask them for honest feedback, follow up a second time and even a third time if needed in a text. That's where you're going to get it. You can try and call them. 99% of the time, they're not going to answer. You can leave a voicemail. They're probably not going to call you back. The text message is probably the best way to get your feedback. Right. All right, let's move on to another topic. Do you remember this slide from last March? This is the slide that I showed last March about professionalism. When we talked about professionalism and I got on my soapbox and I talked about professionalism, I'm going to get on my soapbox again today, and I apologize, but I think that there's some things that we need to talk about. This comes from a YouTube video that I watched a week or so ago, talking about mistakes that buyers agents constantly make. And these are things that I see every single day as a broker, okay? Number one, weak communication skills, right? We are very much reliant upon text in our business. We don't like to pick up the phone. We don't like to call people. We don't like to talk to people. And that's a mistake. It's a huge mistake. And I also see agents who they're texting gibberish, right? It's not a full sentence. Their emails don't make sense. I can't understand or even comprehend what their question is or their feedback is. Level up. It's time to level up your communication skills. You need to do this. If you don't, you're leaving your clients in a bad position and you're leaving yourself and your reputation in a bad position. Number two, not locking up the property, or in general, just not taking care of the property as a buyer's agent, right? I've received calls where people are taking things, food out of people's houses as they're walking through, where they're leaving the back door open, where they're leaving the front door open, where they're leaving all the closet doors open, where they're turning off half the lights or not half the lights. It's just something where we need to be more mindful that we're being given permission from the buyer or from the seller to walk into their house. It's still their house, and we need to treat it with respect. If you don't, there's a good chance, I've seen it, where somebody's left the door unlocked and then they make an offer and they don't get it because they left the door unlocked, right? The seller's mad and they won't accept an offer from this agent. So just be very aware. Number 3, showing up unprepared. I see this quite a bit, right? Where I've got an agent who calls me in the middle of their showing and says, hey, I need to find out some information about this house, right? Your job is to get there with all the information. You shouldn't have any questions about that house that you don't know. You should know what's sold on that street, if it's priced high, if it's priced low, if it's a good deal, if it needs repairs. Like all of the things about that house, you should know. You're the professional and you need to be giving that to your client. If you don't, you're not doing your client a service and your reputation will slip. Number 4, skipping feedback. And we just talked about this, right? You're a professional. Don't skip the feedback. Give feedback. And if you want to give vague, if you feel like vague is all you can give vague, but give something. Even if you say, my client hasn't authorized me to give you any feedback, at least say something to the other side. Don't be radio silent. Lack of professionalism, right? This is a career, not a side hustle. That means no sweatpants, no texting like a teenager, no hey with 12 exclamation points after it. Be very clear. If you want to be treated like a professional, be a professional. This is not a business where we can just wing it. We deal with commissions, $10,000, $20,000, and prices of homes, $500,000 to $4, $5, $6, $16 million, right? This is not some fly-by-night job. This is taking care of a huge asset for a person. And lastly, sloppy paperwork. This one I've had to do. So Beverly, who normally does our compliance, went on vacation for the last week. And so I've had to do compliance for the last week. The paperwork, guys, you guys need to level this up, right? It just needs to be better. You need to triple check and then check again and reread your comments and reread your contracts and make sure your check boxes are done. Make sure you've got the right offer prices in. Make sure your addendums are worded correctly. This is something that has to be done on a regular basis by you. You can't just wing it on any type of a situation like this, okay? And to that, I'll add this slide. If you really are terrible at this, and some of you really are very terrible at this, and that's okay. If you're bad at paperwork, hire a TC. Like get someone who's going to help you be better on top of your paperwork and taking care of it and filing it and doing all the things that you need to do. These 3 TCs are all great. Each one has a very different personality. And so depending on who you work better with, how you work, you may want to work with a different one, right? But they're all great. And so you may want to interview all of them. You're talking about, for the most part, less than $500 a transaction to have them help you. There is no better money in the world spent than to get these guys to help you if you need that kind of help, okay? All right, so now it's time. I've got 11 gift cards up here that I'm going to give away. We're going to go through 11 questions, and so we're going to skip over to a nice little fun challenge for you guys. Scan that code. I'm going to put it up on a different screen here, but maybe. No. Oh, there we go. All right. So scan that code and get ready. We're going to play a game. There will be a gift card for every question answered here. And it's all about how fast you answer and if you answer correctly. And if you want to turn your sound on, that's awesome because it'll beep all over for everybody. But I would recommend turning your sound off so it doesn't bug everybody, but you're welcome to do it. Hopefully you've got the code. If not, I think it's on every slide. Yeah, it's in the bottom corner. So if you still need it, it's still there. All right, so this is how it works. I will read the question and then I will start the timer, and you have, on most questions, you have 15 seconds to answer. The faster that you answer the right question, the more points you get. For each question answered, whoever's the fastest with the most points will come up and pick a gift card. I have gift cards to Parlor Donuts. If you don't know Parlor Donuts, Jason Christensen can definitely tell you how awesome they are. Starbucks and Swig. So they're amazing. All right, guys. So first question is, and this is a test question just to get you guys used to it. What's the most common thing that I hear very first when you call me? What's the first thing that you guys say to me? Not usually hello.
Oh, sorry to bug you.
Sorry to call you on, pick a day or a holiday. Sorry to call you on a Sunday, on Christmas, on Mother's Day, you name it. Sorry to bug you, but I have a quick question, or I think I really screwed up.
I used that once.
What's the one you think that I most often hear?
Sorry to bug you.
All right, so sorry to bug you. That's the one I hear very most. But honestly, this is kind of how it goes if you want to hear the real conversation. Hey, I'm sorry to call you on a Sunday and I'm sorry to bug you, but I have a quick question because I really think I screwed up.
So it's like B, C, and D.
It's like all of them together. Yeah.
C and D is an answer.
Yeah. All of the above, right? All right. Okay, now we start the real stuff. Here we go. What is the most common reason for a rejected document in IntelliAgent? What is the most common reason? Missing signatures, checkboxes not checked, wrong document uploaded, or the purchase price is missing?
B.
Wrong document uploaded.
For me, it's checkboxes, not everybody else.
Okay, so the answer is B, checkbox is not checked. We get that most of the time. 81% of you, I got to put my glasses on because I'm old. And the winner is Phyllis Ann. Just barely beat Ron. Phyllis Ann, what kind of gift card would you like?
Starbucks.
Hey, come get it. All right, next question. True or false? A listing agent must have an unrepresented buyer sign an agency agreement or a showing agreement before showing them their own listing. True or false? Do you have to have an agency agreement for showing an unrepresented buyer your own listing? Answer is false. To have your own listing shown, you do not have to have an unrepresented buyer sign an agency agreement. You're working on behalf of the seller. Remember, you're working on behalf of the seller, so you don't have to have the buyer sign.
So when do you have to get that unrepresented buyer agreement?
If you go under contract, then you do an unrepresented buyer agreement, but it's still not an agency agreement. You do not. Nope. And it's not a state law. It's an NAR rule, and it's not a rule that you have to have it signed as a listing agent. Okay. Fastest on that one. Nicholas, congratulations. Nicholas, which kind of card would you like? Starbucks, So Delicious, or Harbor Donuts? Parlor Donuts, sorry.
Where's Parlor?
PG.
Off the freeway.
Right off the freeway.
Let's do the donuts.
Okay, you got it. All right, question number 3. No. Okay, according to the division rule R162 2F 401A 15, an agent must timely inform a licensee's principal broker or branch broker of real estate transactions in which an offer has been written. So according to Fathom Realty's rule, this means that documents have to be uploaded to IntelliAgent how soon after being fully signed? 24 hours, 5 business days, 48 hours, 5 calendar days, within 5 days after closing. And yes, I know most of you do it Has E, but E is not right. Just making sure you know E's not right.
I know somebody's going to choose it.
I think it was Don that does that one. All right. Our answer is within 48 hours. 62% of you got that one right. All right. So top on that one was Bessie. Congratulations, Bessie. Come grab a gift card. Where is she? She leave? Oh, come grab a gift card. What do you want? So delicious, Starbucks, or donuts? Hey, those are the white ones up here.
I know that because I got a transaction under contract Saturday night. And yesterday morning, Maya texted me that I only had 48 hours. It had only been up for 48 hours.
So once a week, I have Maya go through and check your documents, and you'll get a nasty note from her if you haven't uploaded your documents. Okay. All right, question 5. The Fathom affiliated business disclosure only needs to be signed if your client will be using Encompass Lending or Verus Title. True or false?
Oh, wait,
I'm pushing it, nothing's happening.
It takes, it's not very sensitive, so I hit it. I know, and it didn't work.
Okay, correct answer is false. Okay, so the affiliated business disclosure is a RESPA law. We have to tell people that we're affiliated with those businesses, even if your client's not using them and never will. Even if they don't care about them, it still has to be signed. We have to tell people that we're affiliated with them. Okay. Good question. I don't know. All right, so the winner on that one was Cade. Think that's Cade Purser?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. What kind of gift card do you want? So delicious, Starbucks, or the donut place? I can't. Parlor donut.
Let's go donut place.
Okay. All right, so I'll give you a leaderboard here, show you where you guys are overall. Wow, Leah, you're killing it. Oh, it's tied. Leah and Nicholas start, and then Gary just barely behind. And then a big jump. Okay. All right, next question. Which form should be used to increase your buyer agent commission on your buyer broker agreement from 1.5% up to 2.5%? Which form should be used? An addendum to the buyer broker agency agreement. You are not allowed to increase your buyer agent commission, the brokerage compensation agreement, or an addendum to the REPC. All right, correct answer is you're not allowed to increase it. And guys, I can't tell you, in the last month, I've had 3 agents write 0% BBAs, buyer agency commissions, in their buyer agency agreement, and they don't get paid, right? And it sucks, right? I absolutely hate that conversation to have with you guys when you write a 0%. Don't do it. Like, put in an amount that you want to be paid. I would recommend that you put in 4% because there are builders out there offering incentives, right? And so I would recommend at least, a 4% or whatever your business model says, but whatever you put there, it can't go up. So if you're at 2% and you go to a builder and they're at 4%, you get paid 2%, right? So just be aware. It's an issue. Yeah.
Jeff?
Yes, Don.
There's another point that those that are charging a transaction fee, I'm getting several agents that forget to put it on the buyer broker agreement, and then they tell title to withhold a $550 transaction fee, and it's not on their buyer broker agreement, so they cannot receive it.
Yep. Great point. All right, winner of that one was EP. Is that Eric Polson?
Good guess.
EP, good job. grab a gift card.
Let's see.
Donuts it is. All right, we only got one donut left.
Yeah, I think I've hyped that up.
I know, they're going. Yeah.
If you have a buyer broker agreement that says X%, and you're making appointments to go show your client properties and you see that one of them offers 4%, you go to your client, explain what's happening, cancel your existing buyer broker agreement and complete a new one.
Technically you can. Could you, you can technically, right? Could you still get sued by the people who are suing people for this exact thing? Probably, right? And that's the reason that we're encouraging you not to do that kind of thing, is because those who made the NAR settlement lawsuit have said they're coming after agents who are doing this, who are increasing their commission.
What they have done with the lawsuit is ensure that we're getting paid more now.
Yeah.
That's great.
No, absolutely. Actually, buyer agent commission has gone up from 2.65 to 2.73 over the past, since the settlement, since August. So buyer agent commission has actually gone up. All right, next question.
Jeff, I didn't hear what he asked.
He asked if you could take a buyer, if you had a buyer broker agreement, let's say at 2%, and you were going to go out and show a house and you knew it was going to be at 3%, could you cancel your current buyer broker agreement and then write a new one at 3%?
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, next question. When uploading the PR, the preliminary title report / title commitment to IntelliAgent, the area called proposed insured, what should it show? Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, buyer's names to be determined. It should be blank. The seller's names. What should the proposed insured show on the PR? Wow, lots of wrong answers on this one.
Can I change my answer?
Nope. Correct answer. Oh, you know why they're all wrong? Because I had the wrong one marked. I don't know how I got saved. I'm like, wow.
I was gonna say, Jeff, stop right there.
It should be blank. No, it should not be blank. What's the correct answer? Hey, there's no way for me to give a gift card away on that one. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sure.
The
I got it right. I got it right.
The proposed
right, so
insured should be the buyer's name.
Should be the buyer's name. Absolutely should be the buyer's name. Make sure, don't upload it when it says TBD or it's blank. It should say the buyer's name. That's who's being insured by title. Okay. Sorry about that one, guys. We'll give it away somewhere else. Okay, question 8. According to the division, how big must the brokerage name be on any advertising, signs, postcards, photos, etc.? How big must it be? At least 20% of the size of the media that it's on. Doesn't matter as long as you can see it. Must be conspicuous and easily identifiable. At least 10% of the size of the media.
Two of them are really close, so I got it wrong.
They are, according to the division. Okay, according to the division,
yeah,
it must be conspicuous and easily identifiable. So that's their exact wording. So what size that is, I don't know.
And it used to have to be so big.
It used to have to be 20%.
Okay, see?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you did 20, it just means that you're living in the past. So
Don't specify anything on that for us, right?
no, we don't specify anything other than that you have to follow the division rules.
Yeah.
So it needs to be there. It needs to be easily identifiable and conspicuous. Yeah, no, Fathom's never made you do that. All right, winner of that one was Jason. Jason, love it.
Learning. I know, it's probably true.
All right, time to look at the leaderboard again. There's one more.
Did I tell my wife? You're trying one today? I'm buying or
Oh, Eric's moved into the lead with 1746. I'm not sure who was born in 1746, but must be Dawn. And then Phyllis Ann in third.
Not quite.
Probably my inaccurate question kind of killed that. So, all right, next question. If you don't believe there are any CCNRs for a property, what should you upload in the CCNR folder? What should you upload? Use the exemption button and type no CCNRs, a copy of the title report, create a PDF explaining why there are no CCNRs and upload that, an email from title saying there are no CCNRs. All right, correct answer is D. So if you believe that there are no CCNRs, please check with title and make sure there are no CCNRs and upload that email saying there are no CCNRs. I cannot tell you how many times you guys use the exemption button and type there are no CCNRs, and I go to the title report and there are not lots and lots of nice blue links there to all the CCNRs. Okay, so that's why we make you do it, is so that you actually double check that there actually are no CCNRs. Winner on that one was Gary. Gary, congratulations.
Had to do that one last year.
There you go. Yeah, whenever you get nailed for it, you always remember it, right? All right, we're almost done. Question 10. What goes in the real estate purchase contract folder for Intel Agent? So in Intel Agent, what goes in the real estate purchase contract? The REPC and all addendums up through acceptance, just the REPC and all addendas up through closing, a gift card for my broker because he's awesome and always approves all my files.
D is wrong, but it'll probably help you.
We know it's not D.
It might be D. I would love to do compliance if I got gift cards all the time. That would be amazing.
That's called bribery, Jeff.
All right, correct. That one's wrong too. It should be A.
It's acceptance.
It should be A. Yeah. Sorry, that one should be A. Another gift card lost. I'll have to give you 2 gift cards. All right. Sorry, go back to that one. Let me go back to that one. This one is REPC and all addendums. Through acceptance. Up through acceptance. So all the way till you get to the addendum that says acceptance. So if it's just the REPC and that's acceptance, then just the REPC. But if you have addendums after that, we need to see all of those in that file as well. Okay.
So we have to put the card additional.
Wait, this one says. But unless it's cash, there's always gonna be an addendum for deposit.
Correct.
So there's always.
Well, if you're a listing agent,
Well, yeah.
so you never know. All right, number 11. Sorry.
It was C on that one, and you have to go back to the one earlier, and go to 5 days after closing.
Yeah, exactly. Upload all your documents within 5 days after closing. That's the answer. And that's why Ron always gets that one right. What needs to be documented on an MLS change form or addendum to the ERS when making changes to an active listing? What needs to be documented? Just price changes, and inclusions and exclusions, changes to buyer agent commission, everything, including changes to public remarks and agent remarks.
I have a question on the last one. So once, because I thought it was like in the beginning you send it, and then I add the addendums where it says addendum. I'm supposed to be adding them to the REPC.
So all addendums up to acceptance go in the REPC folder. Yeah. The REPC and all addendums go there, and then any subsequent addendums you'll add as a new document, as a custom document. Totally fine. All right, so what needs to be put on an MLS change form? Everything. Why? And this is the same with the MLS input sheet, guys. This is super important. I see MLS input sheets all the time that have no comments in agent remarks, no public remarks. They're not there. And it's all signed by your client. Why is it important to have that all on there?
Or Jeff, one of the problems that that I've been seeing, and I know Beverly has shared with me that she's been seeing, is that a listing is put on the MLS before the input sheet has been filled out.
Yep. So same thing.
Yes.
The reason behind this, guys, is because your client has to sign off on how you're marketing the property, right? They have to be okay with it. Let's say that you just did a huge price reduction and you go into the public remarks and you put in asterisks and all caps, huge price reduction, but you never get an MLS change form signed. Your client never approves it. Is that okay? Huge price reduction. You just did a price reduction. It is a huge price reduction. What if your client says, I didn't want that there. I did not authorize them to put that there was a huge price reduction. I didn't want anybody to know that. I just wanted it to be how it was, right? You're now in trouble because you're advertising in a way that they didn't sign off on. And that's why it's important to get it signed both on the MLS input sheet and on any change forms. Any changes that you make to the listing need to be on there.
That is permission from your client to put those items onto the MLS.
Yep. Winner was Augusta. Congratulations. MLS change form is on IntelliAgent and Resources. If you're not using the MLS change form for Fathom, then it's just an addendum to the ERS, can be used as well. So either one can be used. All right, I think this is the last question. The best person to sign the transaction document receipt is your broker, you, the agent, your client, your title agent, or escrow officer. Who should sign? Who would be the best person to sign the transaction documents receipt?
Your client.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, not Joe Biden.
Auto handle.
That would be scary.
Oh,
Your client, why? What is the transaction document receipt for? What's its purpose?
Show that they received documents that they have.
Proof of receipt.
Yeah.
Proof of receipt that they actually have it. And why? Because when you go to court and they stand up and they say, Your Honor, I never got a copy of the REPC. I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know what a REPC is.
Right? If you don't have a transaction document receipt, you don't have any proof. I never got a copy of the HOA documents, minutes, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, I sent it to him in an email. Do you have that? Well, no, I don't have that email anymore, right? Well, do you have a transaction documents receipt showing it? Well, yeah, but I signed it, right? If I sign it as the agent saying that they got it, it's the same thing, right? Do we accept it? We accept it. It's acceptable. It says that the agent can sign the bottom and we'll accept it. Does it protect you? Not really, right? It's still your word against theirs.
Addendum that's saying.
It's an actual form. So it's an actual form that you fill out that shows all the documents that they've received. You send it to them and they sign it saying yes, and they initial next to each item saying, yes, I got all these things. And then if they say, well, I never got it, you can say, well, here's a form where you said you actually did get it, right?
Is that a Fathom?
It's not. It's a UAR form.
UAR.
Yep. That's it. So, oh, wait, I need to give you the winner for that one. It'll come back. Winner is whoever Sub-Zero is. Hey, Peter, congratulations. All right, guys. So we're almost to the food portion. Hang with us.
Starbucks ones. Do I get them both?
Nope, you get one of something. Good try. I love it. We're almost done, but we do have one more sponsor, Jack Anders from Edge Homes. And so, Jack, if you'll come up, it is extremely hot in here and you stand between them and getting out of the building. Just be aware.
I have air conditioning here, Jeff.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, so this is not what I was going to go over. So I'll just approach it differently. What do you guys need? Sorry,
say that again.
What do you need?
What do you guys need? Yeah, let me ask you this. Do any of you have a pre-qualified buyer up to 300,000? Anybody? Couple? 350? What the term is qualified. Okay, 400, 500, anybody? Okay, so we're pointing out that it's a buyer's market, and we've got buyers out there that are worried about interest rates. New construction is bar none the best deal out there right now, period. The reason why is that, let's say you've got townhomes that are 400, 450,000, stuff like that. How many of your resale townhome clients have $30,000 that they could throw to the transaction on a townhome? Just cash to help facilitate the transaction. None. Condos, we've got in the 300s that gets, I have condos down in Mapleton, Spanish Fork, that you could get into the high 200s. Easy. I've got condos in multiple locations that have been discounted by 27,000 plus, and then they get on top of that a 6% seller concession. And if you guys use me, I would platoon to get an additional monies off. So there are fantastic options out there all across the board. We've got 185 qualifying homes. I was going to have a link to the regular email that I send out to you guys, in which all of the incentives are in there every single week and always up to date. It's not like a flyer. How many of you have had seen a presentation or had an appointment or get an email from somebody that has a featured listings flyer? You've seen, it's like 20 properties and it's like, these are our featured listings, price just reduced, all of that. Those flyers, by the time they get to you, they are already out of date. So I do things differently and I keep it up to date, always active. Would love the opportunity to show you what I do. Anybody who would like to have access to my systems and get a regular email from me with all of that information, always up to date, just shoot me an email to jack@edgehomes.com. That was on the previous slide, and I am happy to help. I've been with Edge for 11 years, and just work hard for my clients and their clients. So,
Jack, what will your company do if somebody wants to put like a rental in the basement? Will you guys work with them on that?
sure, yeah. If you do a build, you can put in a finished basement. You can even put in one of 3 kinds of kitchenettes. If you want to do like a straight full kitchenette, typically that requires a 9-foot ceiling. But they can do that. I have buyers do that all the time. As far as like, for instance, a Lehigh or a Saratoga Springs, somebody wants to have a legal ADU. The lot size has to be more than 6,000 square feet and a separate entrance. So we find the walkout basement lots on the lots that are more than 6,000 square feet. Go. Finish the basement, finish the kitchenette. And the system that I provide, you can get that information in 9 seconds. You don't have to call 20 different.
You have no idea how untechnologically sound Karen is.
Okay.
It might take her 12 seconds.
Can Karen read a text message?
She can.
I don't know, Karen.
I think so.
So,
It's on the day.
so imagine this just for a second, and I'll give you the most extreme example that I have had. Okay. I had an investor buyer. There was a couple from Vietnam, and they said, I have to have north or east facing. It has to be this floor plan in this community. It has to have this color of cabinets. The kitchen has to be on the right. Okay. And it has to have an 8 in the address. And I filtered from 795 homes to 2 in less than 30 seconds, right in front of them, and sent it to them. They still didn't buy it. Unbelievable. But imagine this now. You register a client with me and you say, I need X, Y, and Z, all of these things, and you can get as granular as you want with my system. Okay. And what I do is I create a link that has all of our inventory that fits that criteria, that is always up to date, always active, and I just send you that link and you can click on your phone and bring it up, and at any time that your buyer comes to market, it's there with our available inventory, and I send it one time.
Can you teach the MLS how to do that?
My system is better than the MLS for all things as homes, and I would love to help any of you, and I'm happy to do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Hey guys, thanks for being here. The food is provided by Jack and Kennedy, and so make sure and tell them thank you. There's some amazing food back there, so make sure to go back and get some.